We're in Winnipeg tonight, on our way to Winkler, Manitoba, the home of this year's Hockey Day in Canada. Of course, Winnipeg is a big hockey town too, and it's almost impossible to talk hockey here without talking about the Winnipeg Jets. The NHL franchise faltered and left town in 1996. But as Mike Beauregard reports, even all these years later, many people here are still feeling the loss.
Okay, we're going to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire the hole!
This is what's left of the National Hockey League in Winnipeg, a barren lot where the Jets used to play. It's an odd sight for former players who stayed behind.
When that place was jammed and that upper deck was starting to bounce, and you could see it actually move up there, it was quite a sight.
You know, there's a lot of memories that happened in that building that are special to a lot of Winnipeggers, and you know, I'm sure they're going to be telling their kids and family that for a lot of years. But when it's not there, it almost doesn't seem believable.
I've played in some great places, but Winnipeg is going to be home. Family and friends. It's a great place to raise my family.
Keane, a right-handed shot. Mike Keane never got to play for his hometown Jets. He won 3 Stanley Cups with 3 different teams during a 16-year NHL career.
I was saddened for the city. I know I had a lot of people here that support the Jets, and a lot of people that love the Jets, and obviously looking back, I think a lot of people would have made different decisions on where the Jets would be right now, and it's too bad for the city of Winnipeg.
It's been a dozen years since the Jets left this hockey-crazed city, long enough that a whole new generation of Winnipeggers vaguely remembers them.
What do I know about the Winnipeg Jets? Not too much. Timo Solani and Nikolai Habibulin are the only 2 names that come to mind.
These days, there's a new arena, MTS Center, and a new team.
So neutral zone here. Shoot it hard, going.
Scott Arneal is the coach, and Mike Keane the captain of the Manitoba Moose, the Vancouver Canucks farm team.
Stick for 6. Got Blader. I got Blader. By yourself.
I don't think a lot of people have that chance to play in their hometown. And, my family and friends and kids get to watch me, 45 times a year, and it's a very special feeling.
In their 12th season already, the Moose have gained a loyal following.
It's just exciting hockey to watch for the price and for the value that you get. We've been season ticket holders with the Jets and now the Moose ever since they've been here. And if the Jets were here, we probably wouldn't have been able to see as many hockey games. So if you're a true hockey fan, you're going to love hockey at every level.
The Moose draw some of the biggest crowds in minor professional hockey. Players say it's the next best thing to playing in the NHL.
It's a total hockey city. I mean, not only the fans in the arena, but I mean, when we leave the arena and go out on the town or to a restaurant, people are recognizing you, and it's just, I mean, you can't get anything better than playing hockey up in Canada.
But Moose crowds are half the size of what the Jets drew, meaning a large faction of fans is staying home.
We miss the big names, miss seeing the Gretzkys, the Stars. Nowadays you sort of lose track of who the big names are now because you don't have that immediate touch with them.
There's still diehard Jets fans. There's still rumbles of NHL coming back here, and that makes it a very tough sell for us.
The owners of the Moose have had dialogue with the NHL about a return to Winnipeg and think it's possible long term.
I think given another chance, the market would very likely support the ticket price and the revenues that are required. As I said, the big question is whether a team's going to become available that this market can afford to acquire.
In the meantime, Mike Keane will play out a remarkable career in front of family and friends.
Time here!
And Jets faithful will hold on to memories made here when this desolate lot was one of hockey's great stages. For The National, I'm Mike Beauregard in Winnipeg.
Well, I just saw Mark Chipman in Mike's item, who runs the Manitoba Moose. Now he's right here for a little more on all this. How realistic is it to expect that the NHL could be back here in this city?
Well, I think it's possible. I think that, post-lockout there's an economic system that might work here. We've been fortunate to have a couple of Canadian-based NHL teams help us understand that. So we've looked at it very carefully. We think the new system may work here. It's hard to evaluate it completely. There are a lot of questions that would still have to be answered, and principally the type of corporate support that would be required. But I think we're within the realm of the possible with this new deal.
Well, there's no doubt this city's passionate about hockey, and they're passionate about the Jets and losing the Jets. I mean, I can remember I was here when the first Jets team was formed in the WHA 35 years ago.
Right.
And I put in my money to help raise money the first time there was trouble. However, it's one thing to say they're passionate. It's another thing to say, well, what's really changed in the dozen years since Winnipeg lost the team? I understand, new economic order of some sort in the NHL. But has that really made a difference?
Yeah, it has, and that coupled with the building. I mean, we didn't have a building that really could accommodate or create the revenues that are necessary to support a team. When the Jets left, we have that facility now. And I think, given a second chance, I wouldn't bet against this community. I think, as you pointed out, the loss is still felt by lots of people, and I think given a second chance, I wouldn't rule out the type of support that exists here, and whether it's enough to to carry a team long term.
Well, if you're going to get an NHL franchise, you got to sort of hope that one folds and you buy it,
right? Or
there's an expansion set up and we're talking big money in either case.
We are
just to buy.
Clearly, that's been the trend. The last 3 transactions or post-lockout transactions have been very significant. Most recent one in Edmonton. I don't know if expansion's real. We continue to dialogue with the National Hockey League, and they continue to express what I judge to be genuine interest in the community. But you're right; it's going to be either or, and perhaps there's one of those markets that ultimately is going to say we'd be better off in Winnipeg, and we would really welcome the opportunity to explore that with one of the owners.
There's some people who've been trying to get in. Who wonder how seriously the NHL, meaning Gary Bettman, really wants to have another team in Canada. Now, you've had some discussions with them, and I assume with Bettman as well.
I have.
Do you get the sense that he's got a problem with Canada?
No, I really don't. I've had occasion to work with Mr. Bettman through our own league, through the league that we participate in. I judge him to be sincere in his interest. We were asked to present to their executive committee last January. We did that. There's been some pretty open and candid dialogue ever since. I think it's the game's growing in Canada. The revenues that are supporting that league, or much of them that have resulted since the lockout, have come out of this country, and I think it's logical for them to look back to Canada for not just to this market, but perhaps 1 or 2 others.
You got $200 million to buy a franchise if it came to that?
No, I don't. I don't have $200 million, but we have a very solid ownership group. I'm not the only partner in our group, and we've got a very well-established group of owners in our mix.
Well, let's say it happens some point in the next 5-10 years. Winnipeg Jets?
That's a good question. I haven't really allowed myself to ponder. I've been more focused on running our existing team and, at the same time trying to explore the ups and downs and possibilities of the NHL. Haven't turned myself to the name just yet, Peter.
But it wouldn't be automatic?
I don't think so. It's a good question. I don't know that it would be automatic. I think there'd be a case for it. There might be a case for starting fresh with a new name and a new team.
All right. Listen, it's been great of you to talk to us. Thanks very much.
It's my pleasure.
Okay.